Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my garden. Today is a good day because I'm just going to be pottering around the garden. I've got lots of things to plant, I've got some seeds to sow, and I have got some limes that I need to preserve as well. So it is meant to rain this afternoon, and hopefully it actually does, because it's been meaning to rain for like weeks and it hasn't, and it is so humid. I don't know how people deal with humidity. It is something that we are really lucky we don't get a lot of humidity here in Perth. It is very dry, a very dry heat. But like the last few weeks, it has been so humid and so hot, and still dry because we haven't actually really got the rain yet. But which is a complete contrast to the rest of Australia. And my thoughts go out to all those over east dealing with those floods. It feels hard to talk about wanting rain when there's so many people wishing it would stop raining. As you can probably see behind me, some of my plants are really suffering with powdery mildew because it's just been wildly humid, but they are sort of finishing up anyway. The end of summer, it's going to start raining and they're going to get a lot worse. So I'm going to pull some of those plants out today. I'm going to make room for lots more winter plants. I'm going to top my gardens up with some compost, and I'm going to share with you some weird and wonderful things that I've got to plant, some new things that I'm trying, and in fact one of them I've been searching for about 6 years. So we were really excited to see this pop up at a local nursery, and we went straight out and got it. So I'm going to share those with you, and I've also got a whole basket of limes that I need to preserve. Ooh, these were on sale, so I grabbed a whole bunch of them so I can practice preserving limes, because that's something that I'm really passionate about, is practicing preserving and cooking all these fruits and vegetables that I'm going to be growing in my garden, so that when I do have an abundance, I will have some recipes up my sleeve. I won't stuff them up, because imagine every single lime that I have grown is just like gold to me. So I want to make sure that I do them justice. I don't really know what I'm going to do with these yet. I am definitely going to dehydrate some, because I love my dehydrated citrus, and I haven't got any limes. So I'm going to do a whole batch of those. And I also want to do something more interesting. I'm thinking about maybe doing like, I've got lots of avocados as well, so I might do sort of like a raw dessert with avocado and lime. Sounds weird, but I'm going to give it a crack anyway. But yeah, hang out with me in the garden. But I would love to know what you've been up to in the garden. Leave me a comment below, give me a little mini update. What have you been planting? What are you ripping out? What are you harvesting? All the things. I would love to know, especially because so many of you are from all around the world. We're in different seasons, we're in different climates, so it will be really interesting for everyone else to read through the comments. So I would love that if you could give me a little snapshot of what's going on in your garden. But let's get into it. Let's plant some things. First off, I've got to plant these. I have had these for I don't know, a week now. We got them last weekend, I think, and so they definitely need to be planted. So let's just have a look. I don't know if you'll be able to guess what these are. They look like little aliens or toes. I don't know, what do you think? If you're a Kiwi, you probably will recognise these straight away. These are New Zealand yams, which are also called OCA. So they grow as little tubers under the ground, and they are sweet and sour kind of tasting, and they're really delicious roasted. So I haven't had these in so long. I probably haven't eaten yams in maybe 10 plus years. But my partner really loves them, and they're the only thing he's wanted me to grow in my gardens, and he's helped me make a lot of these gardens, and I haven't been able to because we just don't have access to them. You can't import any root vegetables, and really there's not a lot of things you can import into Western Australia, so you've got to find things that are already here, and those have been pretty hard to find. So I'm excited to try them. I'm nervous to try them. I hope I don't stuff them up, but no pressure. The only thing he's wanted me to grow. But I'm just going to do what I do with a lot of my gardens, and that is I'm going to put them in a few different spots. So I'm not going to put them all in one pot and then hope for the best. I am going to spread them out. I'm going to put a couple in a pot, and I'm going to put a couple in some garden beds. They do grow like sweet potatoes in the fact that if you leave any part of the root in the soil, it will regrow, so they can go a little bit wild. So I'm not going to put them all throughout my beds. I am going to keep them contained. Here comes the rain, I think. But yeah, just going to plant them 10 centimeters deep, and they've already got heaps of sprouts on them, so they're ready to go. They really need to be planted. Let's do that. I'm going to stick one in this pot here. It even comes with worms. Alright, so it's kind of spitting a little bit, and I don't know if you can see, but I am sweating. Alright, so lucky last little yam is going out here in one of my front garden beds. So the only real thing is that our climate here in Perth isn't really right for these yams. So I need somewhere that I can protect them from the hot, oh my God, I can just feel sweat. I need somewhere that I can protect them during spring in that really hot, if we get any really hot days, which we probably will. So being able to put shade on them is going to be a bonus. And now, fingers crossed, I don't stuff it up. Oh my God. I have to get out of here. So these are Egyptian walking onions, and they are perennial onions that I can plant in my garden and they'll just grow and look after themselves. So they have little bulbs on the bottom, and then they also shoot off and have little bulbs on a stem, and as that stem gets heavy it bends over and it touches the ground, and then those bulbs will regrow. So it sort of moves about your garden, and that's why it's called the walking onion. So it just replants itself, which is awesome, and that is what I'm going to put here in my urban food forest style garden, because I want this garden to be as low maintenance as possible, and if I can have onions that just regrow on themselves by themselves, we're going to do that. So I'm going to pop a few of these in. I'm also going to stick some in probably, I don't know where else. We'll have a look. Now I just need to slice up my limes and get them prepped to go in the dehydrator. I do have a few videos on that, so I will link them. They are getting a bit old now, so I should do a new full video on dehydrating citrus, because it's something that I do all the time. I love dehydrated citrus in my winter teas and use them on top of baking, lots of things. So when I have extra lemons, or like today I've got limes, I do like to make a big batch. They're also really, really good gifts, and I give them away to heaps of people because they're so good in drinks, cocktails, mulled wine, so many things. So let's get a batch of dehydrated limes on the go. So I like to use a mandolin to get even slices on my citrus. I think it's so quick and easy. I always get asked what brand I use. I have no idea. If I do know any of them, I usually put links in the description below. So if there's anything that you'd like to know, either check the description or just leave me a comment and I'll do my best to figure it out if I know. So yeah, I like to use the mandolin because it's really important that you get even slices. If you slice them all unevenly and thick, some are going to dry quicker than others. So then you'll have a whole different delayed batch and have to pick through and find what ones are dry and ready and what ones need longer. So that's where this is just a lifesaver. They're all the same, pretty much all dry the same, and I can just finish it and put it all away rather than just like still having to go through them. So just a quick one on dehydrating. You can use the oven. Dehydrating citrus takes a long time. It's a slow heat. It means that if you use the oven, you need to be home. I do like to leave the oven cracked a little bit at the start to release some of that moisture. And yeah, so the great thing about dehydrators is you can sort of set and forget. That some of them have timers on them. Mine doesn't have a timer, but I could just get a timer for my wall socket and then make it turn off when I want. So usually about 6 to 8 hours for citrus, I find, on a temperature around 50 to 60 degrees. I'll link my blog posts and videos and stuff on that so you can check that out. But yeah, now I just got to give these a good wash and slice them all up. Anyone else's dog just love sitting in the sun and getting too hot? Go in the shade. Not me out here checking patches of dirt to see if my yams have grown in one day. I'm probably going to be doing this for a while. Watermelon update. It's getting bigger. Still got a bit of stretch in it. Okay, so now these are done. They're no longer sticky to touch, and that's how I know that they're ready. I just touch them, and if they still feel a bit sticky, then I'll give them a bit longer. Mine are all pretty evenly cut, so they're done. That's better, you silly sausage. So I'm just sitting out here, check it up on my feed jowers. Seeing if there's any ready to harvest, because I'm seeing lots of people in New Zealand and over east eating feed jowers. So I'm patiently, or not so patiently really, waiting to eat mine. There's a few that are not far off. Yeah, let me know if you have grown oca or yams before, because this is my first time, no idea what I'm doing, I'm just winging it as usual. I've got them in the ground, so fingers crossed we get something. I think it'll take me probably a few years to grow them, harvest and then regrow them again. They aren't going to be the same as in New Zealand because it's not the right growing conditions. So I might have to, or Halen might have to forfeit eating most of them to try and save them to regrow next year. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. And I have got some lives coming up, so if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications so you'll get a notification when I post those, because I've been working on a few things that I can't wait to share with you. So I will talk more about those in a live because it's easier to chat and you can ask questions. Thank you for watching. I will see you back for another video.